killed.
Assalamu alaikum, hanımlar, efendiler. Assalamu alaikum. Barlık Şarkı Türkistan dostları, Uygur dostları. Bugün benim sözleydiğim sözümün mevzusu Pani'nin dozuqi Xitay hükümranlığı. Bugün qandaq bir gün. 5 iyul Ürümçi qatlamının hatır günü. Shakespeare mundaq degan edi. Cehennem hazır quruqtilib qaldi. Bütün şeytanlar bu yerda. Bugün Uygur meselesi kelgende dal mushundaq oldu. Bütün şeytanlar birleşip Şarkı Türkistan'ı bir cehennemge aylandırmakta. Qandaq cehennem bu? Bunun cevabı bugünkü Şarkı Türkistan'ın reallıqıda. Bugün bu dozaqtikiler üçün hiç qandaq bir alahidi gün emas. Çünkü ularning çekildigini her günü zulüm, her günü horluq, her günü insani gururlarının çaylanışı. Bugün fakat taşqı dunyoga bilingan 21. asrdagi Holokostning başlanış günü. Bu günde 2009 yılının mush günüde Ürümçide nim bolgan? Şaugan qatlamıga narazılık bildirip öldürülgen ve yaralangan tuqqanlarının hak talepleri bilen tinchlik namoyish qilgan o'quvchilarimiz Xitoylar tarafidan qatlam qilingan. O'quvchilarning harakati keyin har sohaning norozilik harakatiga kengaygan. Erleri tutulgandan keyin ayollar ko'chaga chiqib, erlarining o'g'illarining derikini qilishgan. Xitoy tajovuzchi hukumati tarafidan tashkillangan atalmış Xitoy namoyishchi ommasi kaltak cho'moqlar bilan ko'chalarga tashib chiqib, Uyg'ur ovlagan. Ama ular kanunsuzluk kılmış hesabıda çeklenmegen. Xitay saqchilari ularning Uyg'ur ovlishiga tomoshabin bo'lib qalavergan. Chunki Panining dozuqi bo'lgan Xitoy hukmronligida Xitoylar nimani qilsa qonunliq, haqliq. Uyg'urlar aman jinoyatchi bo'lgan bo'lg'achqa bu ishtimi xuddi shunday bo'lgan. Xitoylar hatto kichik bolalarni mayab qo'ymagan. Öldürülgenler içinde 3 yaşlık ballarının mı boğallığı hakkında deliller mevcut. Doktorxanalarımı hakimiyetinin rayını ifadelep Uygur yarıdağlarını kabul kılmagan. Mana şundaq insaniyetsizlik tüpeyle doktorxanada red kılınganlardan biri 3 yaşlı Qutlukcandır. Dada bala tuqqanlar ziyaretiga ketayotgan yerda atamılmış g'azablangan Xitoy ommasi tarafidan qattiq dumbalangandan keyin dadasi Qutlukcanni 1000 o'lib, 1000 tirilib doktorxonaga olib kelgan. Ama insonparvar Xitoy doktorlar ularni qabul qilmagan. Shu kuni yana bir Uyg'ur xonim ismi Patugul xonim. Bu xonimning qo'li o'choq, quruq qo'l, qo'rqmay va yolg'iz Xitoy qismlariga qarshi turgan kun edi. Onun cesareti bir taraftan Xitoy irqiy qirg'inchilik harakatida tasavvur qilg'isiz, rahimsiz ekanligini oshkorlagan bo'lsa, yana bir taraftan Uyg'urlarning qarshiligini tinch usulda namoyon qildi. Bu kunda va keyingi kunlarda Uyg'urlarning ahvoli oxirgi darajada nacharlashtirilgan obrazi Xitoyning har xil davlat tashviqot kanallari tarafidan tez va keng tarqaldi. Uyg'urlar bir taraflama holda terrorchi deb ko'rsatildi. Bu xatarlik aldamchilik tashviqoti odatdagi Xitoylarning keng qo'llashiga erishgan bo'lib, ularning ba'zilari tarafidan Xitoycha tor paranglish uyda Uyg'urlarning cho'qim o'ltirilişi ve rayimsizlarcha o'ltirilişi talab qilingan JKP'ning bu tayyor dushmanni xalq va partiya davlatning dushmanini yo'qotishi va qaror qilishi faqatla vaqt masalasi bo'lib qolgan edi. 2017 yılı Uygur qirg'inchiligi boshlandi. Uyg'urlarni anglamoqqa, dozaqqa o'xshash Xitoy lagerlariga solab qo'yib, Uyg'urlarni yo'qotish maqsadini yetishga boshladi. Biz bu kunni qatlamlarning boshlanish kuni sifatida xatirlayapmiz. Bu hergizmi qatlam ve zulümlerinin en çekki yetken kuni emas. Çünkü onundan keyinki Xitoy zulmü kundilik normal hayatının bir qismiga aylanib ketgachga 5 iyulning alayidligini ko'mib tashildi. Hatta onu adetdeki bir günge aylandırıp koydu. Çünkü şundan keyin her günü degidek roy berdigan ölümler, horluklar, vahşiyani kılmışlar, natsistlarını mı qoqtib etkidek çekki yetti. Belkim Adolf Eichmann bugünkü halimizni görse Xitaylarga qol qo'ygan bo'lardi. Xitoy hukmronlik ostidagi Uyg'ur jamiyatini qanday tasavvur qilasizlar? Alexander Solzhenitsin tasvirlagan kulak taqım aralları göz aldığınlığa kelişi mümkün. Ama kulak taqım aralları Rus cemiyetinin sırtıda ayrım bir dünya bulup o yerge yollanğanlığa ma'lum cinayet atılıp resmiyet yüzsüdün bozumu kanunga uyg'unluq görünüşü bilen toplangan cinayetçilerdi. Ama Uygur cemiyeti bir bütün halda kulak taqım arallarına aylandı. Bu yerde cinayetçi, günahkar, günahsızның hiç ayrımsı yok. Uygurlarның cemiyeti kulak. Kulak taqım arallarda günahkarlarның ma'lum dairede şahsi erkinligi var etti. Hiç olmasa erkin oylaya alaydı, özara her qandaq tiyimlarda sözleşe alaydı. Ama Uygur kulak taqım arallarına aylangan Uygur cemiyeti de kişilerinin bir-biri bilen sözleşişlerine mi köz kulak elektronluk cihazlar ezi olup tuğaçka hatta er-xotinlarning arasida mı hiç qanday mahremiyet başkalardan yoşurun söz buluşu mümkün emas. Kulak taqım arallarda ağır emgekten cezası var idi. Ama insanların ruhi yanala erkin idi. Uygur kulak taqım arallarda bolsa insanların ruhini tacavuz uçurmakta hiç kim özü emas. Hiç kimning xasligi, mahremiyeti, şahsi mahbiyeti qanmagan. İsmi cismi bilen manqurtlaştırılgan bir cemiyettir. Kulaklarının aileleri öz hali bilen buladı, balları yanlar Sovet ballarının bir kısmı hesaplanırdı. Dadısı kulak boğan bolsa balları anısı bilen normal yaşayalaydı. Anısı kulak boğan bolsa dadısı bilen yanalı bir aile süpütü yaşayalaydı. Ama Uygur kulak taqım arallarda hiç kim öz balısığı igi bulanmaydı. Ata analar balılardan ayrı bitilgen. Hatta emçektiki ballarımı anısından ayrı bitilip naməlum yerlerge elip gitilgen. Bu yerdekiler Solzhenitsynning kulak taqım arallarına hasret bilen sığınıdığan köngüllük bir yer süpütü kögen buladı. Dünyada nurgun jaylarda zulüm bulup atıdı. Ma'lum guruhlar öz menfaatleri üçün, ma'lum şahslar öz menfaatleri üçün bir munçularning azaplarını rava görüş, insaniyet tarixinin başlangıçından beri mevcut bir reallik. Bu noktadan nurgun kişiler Uygur cemiyetinin qarangılıqını, Uygurlarning beşiği kilip atkan zulümlerini şularning cümlesinden dep qaraydı. Yaki şulardan yüzü bildiğin birer misalga oquştudu. Ama bu zulümның bu derecesi bugünküçe hiç kandak başka bir kavimning beşiği kelgen emas. Bazılar derhal Palestinge oquştuşga aldıraydı. Ama Palestin halkının özüge tava bir zimini, bütün dünya tanıgan kimlik hüccetleri var. Ular hiç olmaganda zalimlar üstüden beddua qilish imkoniga ega. Ama Uygurlar zalimlarni madiyleşke mecbur. Xitaylar tarafından to'qilgan zalimlarning nijot yulduzi ekanligi, baxt keltirguvchi ekanligi haqida naqshi aytishga majbur. Falastinliklarning ibodat qilish haqqi bor ekan, Uyg'urlarning bunday haqqi yo'q. Masjidlarimiz zalimlarning so'zlari, rasmlari esilgan. Xutbalardimiz zalimlarning buyurganlarini so'zlashga majbur. Bu holatni qaysi qavm boshdan ko'tarib bakkan? Yana dünyanın nerede kandak bir zulüm meydanı gelse şu an bunun hakkında haberler, matbuatlarını kaplaydı. Ama Şarkı Türkistan'da meydanı gelip atkan zulümler hakkında dünyanın bugünkü kançılık haber oldu. 70 yılını aşkan bir vakit içinde bundak zulümler dünyanın gözünden kaçtı. Dikkatini dağıtalmadı. Hatta haberi olmadı. Fakat bugünkü gelgende dünya bu zulümler hakkında kısmellikte haberdar buluvatkan bolsa mı? Ama bu zulümün hakiki ahvalı mı? Yaki kısmellik mi? Elbette bu denizden tam çıkalas. Hatta Ürümçi katliamında öldürülgenler sanını dünya bir neçe yüz dep anlığanға okşaş. Ameliyatda Ürümçi katliamında ölgenlerinin sani hakkında 30 mingga kadar okşamagan bayanlar mevcut. Ma'lum bir Xitay saqchisining yaqinlarining biriga degani bo'yicha 17.500 dan ortiq. Ama dünya bunu bir neçe yüz dep bilgen bolsa, demek bugünkü kam tutqunlarının sani haqqıda mı aşındaq zor, farqlıq, yetersiz uçur dünyaga ma'lum bolgan deyişimiz mümkün. Bugün Xitay kamplarını natsist kamplarına oxşatish adetga aylandı. Ama natsist kamplarlarda şahsen ibadetxonalarni ko'rdim. Kamerlardaki tutqunlarning o'zaro bir-biriga ziyarati, bir yerga to'plashib parang qilish mumkinchiligi borligini buningga oid filmlardan ko'ramiz. Lekin Xitoy kamplarida Uyg'urlar kechinlari yenida yotgan biri bilan Uyg'urcha pichirlashsimi shu hamon gundupaylar yetib kelib tumbalaydiganligidan bu kamplarning natsist kamplariga zadil o'xshamaydiganligini, agar shu anda Uyg'ur kamp tutqunlari natsist kamplariga yo'tkalsa, cho'qim bir rohatga chiqqandek azadlik his qildiganligini faraz qila olamiz. Bugün dünya ahlidan Xitoylarga besim qilib bir xolis tekshirish guruhining berishiga ruxsat talab qilishyapti. Agar Xitoylar ruxsat qilgan taqdirdami bu tekshirish guruhining haqiqiy ahvolini xuddi reallikda bo'lganidek ko'lam va chekda bilishiga Xitoy hukmronligida yashab batgan bizlar hech ishonch qila olmaymiz. Chunki Xitoylar chet elliklarning ko'zini bo'yashdimi g'oyat zo'r tajribaga ega. Xitoy aldamchiligi xuddi natsistlar Germaniyasiga o'xshash 1943-yil jazo lagerlarining dozaq muhitini atirgullik baqqa aylantirish orqali Qizil Kirist jamiyatining ziyoratini aldashga tirishganiga o'xshash Xitoymi Uyg'ur va boshqa turk millatlariga qaratgan irqiy qirg'inchilik jinoyatini qandaq yoshirishga bek usta. Tarix bizga natsistlar Germaniyasiga o'xshash Xitoy irqiy qirg'inchilik tuzimining xalqaroliq sotda inkor qilg'ili bo'lmaydigan dalil isbotlar bilan yuzlashmasa, uning irqiy qirg'inchilik qilmishda uch oshkor bo'lmaydiganligini va mangu oshkor bo'lmaydiganligini ko'rsatib turdi. Ilgari ma'lum davlatlarning bo'lgan kuzatuvchilar hatto Xitoyning foydasiga tashviqotchilik qiladigan ta'sirotlar bilan qaytib kelgan ahvollar ko'rilgan edi. Çünkü Xitoy komünist istilasidan beri bu jihatda nurg'un tajriba qozondi. Kuzatuvchilarni qandaq aylantirishni, qayerlarni ko'z tutishni, haqiqatni qandaq yoshirishni naytobdan biladi. Shunga Xitoy hukmronligi ostida insonning beshiga kelayotgan zulmlarni faqat shu jamiyatda yashab baqqanlarlar eng chunqur tushunadi. Sirtdan bardiganlar cheklik vaqt ichida, cheklik doiradagi faoliyat, harakat imkonlari bilan haqiqiy turda bilalishi, aniqlay olishi mumkin emas. Xitoylar jinoiy izlarining kelgusida echilib qolishining oldini olishga sal qaramganligi oshkordir. Masalan, g'arbliklar Amerika yerliklari qilingan zulm qatlamlarining dalili bo'lib, ba'zi yerlarda ommaviy qabrlarning echilishi, natsist qatlamlarining dalili bo'lib, to'pliq mozorlarning tepilishi Xitoylarga ilhom bo'lgan bo'lishi kerakki, kamplar bilan birlikda jasad ko'ydirish o'choqlarimi birga operidi qilingancha, tarix uchun bunday insoniy jinoyatlarning faktlarimi vaqti-vaqtida yo'q qilinishga sal qaralmagan. Zalimlik tajribasida voyaga yetgan bu zalimlarning naqadar inchiklikki hur dunyoda yashayotganlar tasavvurini qilolmaydigan darajada. Bugün dünya xalqiga insoniyatga deydiganimiz shuki, ko'z oldinglardagi ozgina manfaat uchun zolimga yantiyoq bo'lishning bedeli bek og'ir bo'lishi mumkin. Agar insonligimiz rost bo'lsa, inson tragediyalarga sayrchi bo'lib qolish nomusdir. Bugün bu zulmlarga to'xtat deyishga petan olmaganlar, aytili bu zulmning obyektlariga aylanishi mumkin. Chunki Xitoylarning dunyoga xo'ja bo'lish niyati tug'ilishida mavjud. Haq, adolat tuyg'usini, insonlik xarakterini yo'qotib qo'ygan barliq xalqlarga chaqiriqimiz zalimga tur demek. Zulmga chiqib qo'ymak har insonning insonlik burchi. Buni biz uchun emas, o'zinglar uchunmi qilish majburiyatinglar bor. Hammanglarga rahmat.
Free, free Turkestan!
Free, free Turkestan!
Free, free Turkestan!
Stop the killing, stop the hate!
Stop the killing, stop the hate!
Stop the killing, stop the hate!
Stop the killing, stop the hate!
China is a terrorist state!
China is a terrorist state! Thank you for listening. Right now I'm inviting Uyghur Yamoli to read the translation of the speech of the President. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone here that joined us today as friends of the Uyghurs and of East Turkestan. Shakespeare once said, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here." In the case of the Uyghurs, all the devils are here on earth to turn East Turkestan into another hell. What kind of hell is this? The answer lies in the meaning of today. Today is the 12th anniversary of the July 5th massacre in 2009. Today may not be a special day for those who have always been living in this very hell. For each day is as worse as hell, with more humiliation and oppression. Yet, it is still worth examining the meaning of this day, without which we would not be able to understand the current Uyghur genocide. Massive protests in Urumqi erupted on 5th of July 2009 as a response to the Chinese government's indifference and inaction to the Shaogan incident, a bloody brawl in southern China several days earlier, in which many Uyghurs had been brutally killed, and the videos of which were circulated online to fuel the global outrage of the Uyghurs. The peaceful protests demanding justice and change were quickly suppressed by the police and military forces with disproportionate measures, resulting in thousands of the Uyghur protesters killed, arrested, and they have disappeared. This was a turning point in Chinese-Uyghur relations, as Chinese authorities implemented hard-hitting measures and policies against the Uyghurs, which led to even more chaos, even though Uyghurs expressed dissent in a peaceful manner. Uyghur women took to the streets to seek the whereabouts of their husbands and kids, were also suppressed ruthlessly. At the same time, a Chinese mob organized by the Chinese government and disguised as ordinary protesters hunted down the Uyghurs on the streets and in their houses, killing them mercilessly once they were spotted. Their bloodthirsty actions were not put under control for many days by the Chinese government. Instead, they were unleashed as wild beasts to roam around everywhere, carrying matches and sticks to terrorize Uyghurs. On this day, hospitals refused to provide medical assistance for the Uyghurs who were either wounded during the protests or fell ill for normal reasons. A 3-year-old Uyghur boy, Kutluk, died after being denied medical assistance by a hospital just because he was an Uyghur. Today was also a day that an Uyghur lady, Ms. Pa Tigul, stood against the Chinese paramilitary forces, barehanded, unafraid, and alone. Her courage epitomized the Uyghur resistance in a peaceful way while revealing China's unspeakable cruelty. On this day, and on the following days, a foul image of the Uyghurs was rapidly and widely disseminated by a variety of state propaganda channels. Uyghurs were unilaterally pointed out as terrorists. This dangerous and deceptive designation won the widespread support of ordinary Han Chinese, some of whom chanted in online chat rooms in Chinese that Uyghurs must be killed indiscriminately and mercilessly. It became just a matter of time before the CCP decided to wipe out this ready-made enemy, the enemy of the people, of the party, and of the state. In 2017, the Uyghur genocide started to achieve this blood-dripping goal to eliminate the Uyghurs by incarcerating them in Chinese concentration camps. Now, how do you imagine what Uyghur life is like? Perhaps the first image which could come to your mind is the Gulag concentration camp system and political repression in the Soviet Union, described by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. The Gulag Archipelago was a prison camp where conditions were awfully bad, and the prisoners were forced to work extremely hard. The Gulag system was, at the time, outside of Soviet society, as a separate world, to where the so-called criminals were sent based on bogus criminal charges to look legitimate. However, all of Uyghur society has already become a gulag system, into which all Uyghurs have been thrown indiscriminately and ruthlessly. Furthermore, there is no difference between the criminals and non-criminals in the system. All Uyghurs are considered by Chinese authorities as criminals. In the Soviet Gulag system, the prisoners still entertained a certain level of freedom. At least they could think freely and discuss some topics with each other. However, in the Uyghur Gulag system, because all communications is heavily surveilled and censored, there is no private talk among the Uyghurs at all. Even a couple cannot talk privately among themselves. Surveillance has reached such an alarming level where the Uyghurs feel a sense of dread about their own thoughts for fear of them being exposed, culminating in self-censorship. In the Uyghur Gulag system, all Uyghurs are systemically turned into objects. They are totally objectified. Their mind is forced to be observable through forced confessions, brainwashing, and their behavior is observed through the omnipresent gaze of security cameras with face recognition capabilities. This is the most chilling aspect of the dehumanization of the Uyghurs under CCP's rule. In the Soviet Gulag system, the prisoners had families, and all the children of the prisoners were still considered as citizens of the Soviet Union. Their children could lead a normal life, even if both or either of their parents were considered as Gulag prisoners. However, in the Uyghur Gulag system, the children are separated from their parents, and subsequently, the parents have no say regarding the future of their children. Even breastfeeding children are separated from their parents and taken to unknown places. As such, for the Uyghurs, the Soviet Gulag system could be inevitably better than the system in which they are losing everything: their land, property, culture, language, religion, life, children, and above all, their thoughts. Indeed, there is a lot of oppression in many parts of the world. It is true that the act of oppression has never ended since the dawn of civilization, due to the reason that people in power or in search of power place restrictions on groups of people that they deem a threat to their goals. In the end, oppression is driven by a desire for more power, by subjugating others to political, economic, cultural, or social degradation, resulting from structures of domination and subordination, and correspondingly, ideologies of superiority and inferiority. In this sense, for many, the oppression to which the Uyghurs are being subject as a native people of East Turkestan is nothing new or special. It is possible that some people can be quick to associate the oppression of the Uyghurs to that of Palestinians, claiming that both nationalities are suffering from the same kind of oppression. We should not forget that the Palestinians have their own land, however smaller it has gradually become. They're global support channels, and they have a collective identity. They can at least protest Israeli mistreatment, and more importantly, they can curse the agents of oppression in their prayers in their mosques. However, the Uyghur oppression is far graver and unprecedented than any other oppression that humanity has ever seen in history. The Uyghurs are forced to deny that they are oppressed. Instead, they are expected to praise the oppressors by singing and dancing that they are the guarantor of their happiness, confessing that they deserve this treatment for being an Uyghur. They are very free and happy that they are eternally thankful to the CCP for its kind-heartedness and good intentions. No absurdity can match the absurdity of Uyghur life. This hell is as pathetically evil as you can imagine. Even though the Uyghur oppression has been continuing since the occupation of East Turkestan by the People's Liberation Army in 1949, it has always failed to attract the urgent attention of the world. While the Urumqi massacre in 2009 was supported by many media channels around the world, they relied unanimously on data provided by Chinese government sources, regardless of the simple fact that this very government itself was the oppressor and cause of this carnage. no serious attempt was made to get this information from the Uyghurs in exile, at least for the sake of natural justice. As a result, the number of casualties was reported to be 197, which was far lower than the actual number of casualties, which according to some independent sources could be at least 30,000. According to one of the Han Chinese police officers, this figure is more than 17,000. Likewise, there is a great deal of difference in the reported number of Uyghurs in Chinese concentration camps. Today, it is common for people to draw similarities between China's concentration camps and Nazi concentration camps. However, there were temples in Nazi concentration camps. We see in films that the prisoners in Nazi camps could gather and talk amongst themselves. In Chinese camps, Uyghurs cannot even speak a word of the Uyghur language to the person next to them without being severely punished. If Uyghur detainees were to be placed in Nazi camps right now, a sense of relief and freedom would come over them. Currently, there is a growing voice asking for the UN and other agencies to form a delegation to visit East Turkestan to see what is happening on the ground. However, like Nazi Germany, who deceived the Red Cross by turning the hellish environment of concentration camps into rosy gardens in 1943, China is quite good at hiding its own crimes against the Uyghurs and other Turkic nationalities. History tells us that a repressive regime, like Nazi Germany, is and will never be transparent on its genocidal behavior unless it is challenged with the undeniable evidence at an international court. Therefore, to avoid facing international justice in the future, China has already built a crematorium next to some of the concentration camps in East Turkestan to erase the traces of their crimes against humanity. The Nazis killed the Jews in gas chambers and cremated them later. Likewise, China is killing Uyghurs and cremating them secretly. Therefore, it is highly doubtful that the international community will be able to know the reality of the murderous destruction of Uyghur society. During this chilling, genocidal process, we, the Uyghurs, call upon the international community to stand up for us, because standing up for us is standing up for justice and for the dignity of humanity. We remind them of the high moral cost they will pay for their silence and inaction over the Uyghur genocide. Silence is violence when genocide is happening. Those who are now afraid to take a stance against China over this crime will become its victims eventually. The Uyghur genocide is a litmus test for the world. If China goes ahead with what it is doing without consequences, it sets a precedent for other authoritarian or semi-authoritarian regimes around the world to follow. More carnage will ensue, and more innocent blood will be shed. Joining the fight to stop Uyghur genocide is the duty of humanity, but also a favor to the rest of the world because of China's cruel ambition to rule everyone. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for those important words. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming. Inshallah, it's very important that we support all causes for all people that are oppressed. We need to have big numbers at all of these rallies. This is just as important, if not more important, than what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in Syria. Just like the brother said, in some of these places they can still pray in their mosques, they can still claim to be Muslim. The Uyghurs of East Turkestan, they're not even allowed to say La ilaha illallah. They're being punished just for saying La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. This is unacceptable. We need to stand against this. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the ummah is like one body. When any part hurts, the whole body hurts. So if there's any oppression of any people in the world, we all need to stand. We need to have thousands of people at these rallies, not just who's here today. But Jazakumullah khair for the people who are here today, for your speaking out against an oppressed people. I think it's very, very important. And next time there's a rally, we need to tell all the people that came to all the other rallies, they need to support this cause as well. Okay, we need to stand for all Muslims, all suffering all over the world, inshallah. Leading human rights group Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have published reports recently accusing the Chinese government against crimes against humanity. More than 1 million Uyghurs are being held held against their will in what are called re-education camps. Make no mistake, these are simply camps designed to ethnically cleanse the Uyghurs from the region. The Uyghur people don't claim to be Chinese. They're a Turkic people.